Majority of us humans, we live in a reality that is very non-human centered. Especially the humans, those of us that are living in cities, in urbanized spaces, in westernized spaces, we find ourselves in places and in spaces that do not have the human in the center of it. And so a lot of our human experience is curtailed, is restricted, and we generally are robbed of a natural human experience. The cities literally rob us of a natural human experience. And so one of my friends posed this question to me after they watched my previous video. And they asked me, can we really be able to achieve this natural way of life, indigenous way of life, human way of life, when we are living in a very artificial setting? And she further asked, is it even worth it when I, as a person, try to live the right way and try to live the natural, organic way, and yet everybody else seems to be on the highway, on the super highway to artificial living? It seems like we are surrounded by concrete, by plastic. Is it worth it? And so those questions, those two very beautiful questions, are what inspired today's video. That's what you're going to talk about in this video. My name is Mwende, and you are watching The Subtle Sage. Personally, I think it's not easy. It's very challenging to live an authentic human experience, to have an organic experience in a very inorganic area, in a very inorganic reality. The cities that we live in are not created with a human in the center of it. And so us trying to exist in the cities and still claim our human experience, to claim a natural way of life or an indigenous way of life, it's very challenging. It's extremely challenging. But much as we are caught up in this city, in this artificial reality, much as we find ourselves in spaces that are no longer serving us, we have awakened to the fact that it was an illusion, it was a lie, that the cities are going to offer us the comfort, they're going to offer us the life, the success that we were looking for. So a lot of us are already awakened to that, but we are still living in the city. You just don't wake up and go. There are certain systems that we've built around ourselves that we have to slowly dismantle and eventually leave. My personal opinion is that it's actually not possible. It's very challenging. It's possible, but it's very challenging to achieve an optimal human experience in a city, in a westernized space, in an urbanized space, in the so-called civilized. I have a huge problem with the word civilization because we have gotten that word switched up, because civilization is not what this modern society is. It is entirely something else different, but we're talking about how we can be able to survive and achieve some kind of an optimal human experience in a very non-human centered reality. For me, I think it's important to strive to eat organic. We are what we eat. And it's not just organic because it's labeled organic, because most of the time we are finding ourselves in situations where the advert or the labeling or the packaging says it's organic. Here in Austria or in the German language, they say bio or biologische. Just because it's saying it's bio, I don't stop at that. I go further to make sure that I ensure that I'm literally I literally am in control of how biological the food is. So I've done away with all the food that is pre-made, prepared. I am fully doing the food preparation myself. I am taking the food from whatever I get it from, mostly from the farmers. I get it how it comes from the farm. If it's a maize, I'm not getting the maize in the can. I'm getting the maize in the cob, completely covered in the cob. So that, because we are not able to grow food in the cities. Here in Vienna, they have small city gardens, about like a square meter maximum for a family or for a person, whoever applies. And the bureaucracy that you have to go through to get that, it's just not something that's available for everyone. And so growing your own food is not something that is so easy. It's challenging to actually achieve that, but there are some people that are doing that. Whether they are being able to fully provide for themselves enough food from this growing their own food in cities, I haven't come across someone who has achieved that success. If they're there, let me know. But generally, I know it's those of us that are living in cities, we don't have that agency to grow our own food. But it's possible for us to make sure that we also do not go to the supermarkets to buy food that is processed. They call it ultra-processed, but I think what I want when I go to buy food, I want to go and get food that is in the status that you get it from the farm. How you get it from the farm that is the status I want to get my food as. And so I make sure that I am cooking my own food, and actually I cook the food from scratch. So if it is bread, I strive as much as possible to cook my own bread, to cook my own starches. If I need the starches, I cook my own starches. I bring food whenever I travel to Kenya. I get food from the farms and the farmers in Kenya, and I literally bring it in a suitcase, the dried foods like the pulses. So if you are in a position where you can actually be able to get the food yourself, or send a friend, or someone who travels a lot to the countryside or somewhere where you are able to send for food that is actually that you have some kind of understanding and control over how this food is produced, that for me is important. It's not just important for me to eat what they're labeling organic. The second thing, I know, before we go to the second thing, I know that some people say eat plant-based. It's very easy when you say you eat plant-based or you go vegan. I think you can end up in the trap of eating very ultra-processed food, because the vegan marketing might want to market you food that looks like meat, but it is vegetarian or it's vegan. So I think that is a space that I am extremely careful. I would never just advise go for plant-based. I think we should eat organic food that is actually food meant for human consumption. The second thing that I do is I connect with nature, but not just nature, because what I discovered is that nature is not just nature. The one that I want to connect with, to be able to feel human, to feel that I am one with nature, is the nature that is untampered with, the wild nature. You find that a lot of places like here in Vienna, we have the mighty Danube, but a huge part of the Danube is not natural. The place where I'm sitting right now is actually part of the Danube. The Danube used to extend, and it just used to spread itself in this particular area, and this was actually a marshy area. But what did we do as humans? We came and tamed the Danube and decided you have to pass here. And right now, in this area, we have a very artificial look of the Danube that is so controlled and so tamed. For whatever reason, they say that it's preventing the city from swallowing, the river from swallowing the city. But for me, I feel like the city is swallowing the river. We always are talking about, we are trying to tame the wild so that it's not going in conflict with our concrete, artificial reality. But the thing is, the wild spaces are the nature that we have around us. We have to really go beyond just going into nature and seek out the wild spaces, the wild forest, where there are indigenous trees and plants, where there are wild animals. It's not these cats and pets that we have and dogs that we have on the leash. Those are nice, they're beautiful, but those are not wild. We need to go in spaces where we are at risk of coming in contact with a wild pig, because a wild pig is not going to exist in artificial spaces. We are at risk of coming in contact with a deer and all other type of wild animals. Those are spaces, I think that these are spaces that are meant for us. We are not meant to be living in separation with the wild. This is a colonial mindset where it says these are wild animals and they're dangerous and we need to protect you from dangerous wild animals, so we put the wild animals in cages and put them in fences, electrical fences. That's what they do in the land they call Kenya. But in reality, how we are supposed to live in nature is we are supposed to live together in harmony with these animals. Those animals they call dangerous. They are not dangerous. The wild animals don't accept evil. Humans, we are full of evil. We have allowed so much evil to attach on us. And so when you come in contact with a wild animal, it attacks you. And it wants to kill you because you are oozing evil. Animals don't accept evil, and animals don't give evil. So we are supposed to live in the wild nature with the wild animals. We need that wildness. Connect to the wild forest, the wild rivers, the wild parts of the place where you're living in. Those spaces exist because the colonizer cannot put their fingers in everything. Somehow there is some place out there that is wild. The other wild thing that you can connect yourself with is babies. Babies, in my own opinion, are the most wild humans that we have. They are not yet contacted. So you can almost be sure that when you come in contact with a baby, you're coming in contact with a raw human. So connect yourself with the babies. Ask young babies, children questions. Listen to them. Let them teach you something. That's a wild human. Connect yourself to babies. Another wild situation you can connect yourself is the weirdos. The weird people, the black sheep, the so-called black sheep. The eccentric people. These are people that are living outside the group think. These are people that are not dressed like the rest of us. Most of the time you find in cities, everybody is dressed the same. Everybody speaks the same. There is a lot of uniformity in these colonized spaces, the westernized spaces. So those spaces, you'll find people that completely don't fit. A lot of artists, for you to be a real artist that is producing real art, you have to be a little bit off the cuff. You have to be not fitted in the mainstream. Connect yourself with those people that are ostracized in the community. If you are in a certain community and there are certain people that are not accepted by the society, connect yourself to those people. A lot of the LGBTQ people, connect yourself with them. These people know how to live in a world that is not the mainstream world. So these are some of the most spiritual people. The homeless person you see sitting, covering themselves and sleeping on the pavement with a sleeping bag or whatever. Speak to that person. The guy that they label the crazy person in the market, talk to that person. They will tell you incredible truths. These are the people that can't fit in the society. That doesn't mean they are bad people. It means that they are just not fitted. They refuse to conform to the society, to the artificialness. Go to those people. So the first thing is eat organic, not just what is labeled, but go further and make sure that the food is real human food. The second thing is connect with the world. Go and tap into the world, because that's what we are meant to be. We are meant to exist in the world. Connect yourself with wild indigenous forests. Connect yourself to wild animals. Connect yourself to babies. Babies are the wildest humans we can think of. They are untampered with. They are raw. Connect yourself with the weirdos. Those people that the society tells you to stay away from and to fear them. The eccentric people, the people that are unacceptable in the society. Those are the people you want to connect to. You want to tap into that wildness that they bear, that they carry. The next thing is you want to put yourself in situations that make you the wild person, make you the stranger. A lot of people move to a country that is completely alien in terms of their culture. A lot of people will put themselves in situations where it's almost like you're writing using your left hand if you're right-handed. These are good places to put yourself in when you really are the weirdo, when you're the one who looks completely different as everybody else. These are good spaces because these are moments where you are forced to meet yourself. You're forced to really look at yourself and think about your own identity and who the heck you are. Don't just grow up in Austria and all you visit is the Canary Islands or Spain and New York. Go to spaces that are completely alien to you. Don't grow up in Kenya and the only place you go is Tanzania. Move, come to Europe. Come and experience life the way life is in the Scandinavian. The fourth thing that you can do is to keep and retain your power. You are an authority in your own life. Stop giving away your power to so-called authorities, the government. Oh, the government says this, we need to do this because the government said. Oh, the Bible says this, so we do it because the Bible says. Oh, the politicians are saying that this is what is happening, so that's true. We've given a lot, our power so much. We've given away our power so much. And we call those entities that we've given our power to, we call them authority. when we are the authority. I am the authority. I am the executive in my life. I am the supreme, the ultimate. I am the king, I'm the president. I am the God. I am. And I am giving my power to nobody. We have this tendency of thinking, let's select somebody who is going to represent us. We don't need to be represented. We just need to be individuals. And as individuals, we are standing in our individuality, in our individual uniqueness, and in our individual power, then we are capable of forming unions and associations and societies that are comprised of individuals, supreme individuals. The societies that are not giving us an identity, but it's us who's giving the society an identity. We need to stop giving away our power. Retain your power. Remain the individual that you are. Which now takes me to the second part of the question that my friend posed. Is it even worth it? When everybody seems to be headed towards when everybody seems to be on the super highway to destruction. Is it even worth it? It's like my effort is so small. My response is that it's worth it because we come in as individuals. It doesn't matter to me what somebody else is doing here. It shouldn't matter to me what everybody is doing. I should not decide not to take a decision that I make as an individual because people are not making that individual. That's groupthink. Remember, we are the weirdos. We are the supremes. We are the authority in our own life. So why do I need approval from others? Why do I need to lobby for validation from others for me to take a certain direction? So it is extremely worth it because there are enough people that are doing the right thing. You will be surprised how few the number of people that need to do the right thing to cause a shift. It's such a really small number of people that's required for people to just do the right thing, to move in the right direction, the natural direction, the direction that is divine, the direction that is guided by a supreme individual. It's such a small group of people that need to just do the right thing. And so don't worry about if it looks like everybody is doing the wrong thing. Just do the right thing. It counts. For you, it counts. For me, it counts because it means I have not betrayed myself. If I completely feel like something is wrong and I bypass that and decide I still do it because everybody is doing it, then I've disobeyed the divine in me. I've disobeyed myself. I've betrayed the authority, this authority. So it's extremely important that we are self-guided and that we are individuals. Before you go to form a nation, before you call yourself a Kenyan, personally, I don't call myself a Kenyan. I don't identify as anything. Before you can go and form and be part of a nation, be part of an association, a party, a political party or whatever, a church, a religion. First, become an individual. And it's not saying that you have to be individualistic. It's very different. When you are standing as an individual and as a supreme being, as the ultimate authority in your own direction, in your own life, then you make such a beautiful contribution. You make a huge contribution to any association and any community that you join. So communal life is important, but you can't have a community that is formed by, we call them empty debbers. I don't know, tins, empty tins. You need to have community that is formed by humans, actual humans, not vidudumtu, not somebody who is a lesser human, someone whose humanity has been removed and replaced with artificial nonsense. If you're going to be part of a society, the society can't be the one that's giving you an identity. You give the society an identity because you are the human, you are the divine. The society is an abstract thing. The society is a non-human. Imagine a society, a nation, or an association, a political party, whatever kind of a community that you're a part of. Imagine one that has actual humans, has individuals, unique individuals. That's what makes up diversity. It's not what we it's not what we talk about saying, oh, we are a diverse place because we are a diverse community because we have Kenyans, we have Ukrainians, we have women, we have men, we have identities that have been allocated and given by the colonizer. The colonizer decides this is a white person, this is a black, people of color. These are identities that are colonial. A real identity of a human is the one that is given to them by nature. And the one that, who you are unique. When you come into an association as a unique human, you contribute to the diversity. Imagine a society or a community that is comprised of people that are unique, that have not lost their uniqueness, trying to fit in to a society, to a community with the people. It's the people that are supposed to be giving the society an identity. And we are supposed to remain who we are. We are supposed to remain unique. My name is Mande, and you've been watching The Subtle Sage.